Hey guys, Manny Gazelle here, back with more NFL picks for week number 10. This is up extremely late. This is another one of those special Sunday mornings with Mighty before the games start. Watch this and just, it's like one of those Fox programs that would have on Fox Sports where they kind of gather around, just get their thoughts about the games that are about to start. Um, so on Thursday night, the Chargers played the Raiders. I had the Chargers winning that game, but they did not win. It was a close game. But one too many mistakes by Phillip Rivers led to the Raiders coming out on top. The Raiders team is pretty competitive this year. I think they're pretty fun to watch, in all honesty. Giants at Jets, the battle of not New York, but what do they play? The I don't know. I forget where they play. It's the same stadium. They share the same home stadium. Um, Interesting game. The Jets are really bad right now, and I think the Giants should do enough to win this game, although I kind of want Sam Darnold to get out of the slump he's been playing in, but I'm going to pick the Giants to win that game, picking the Giants. Falcons at Saints. The Falcons are very disappointing this year. What's their record? 1-7. And they're going to a Saints team that's pretty beast. Drew Brees coming back into full swing. This team's going to coast right into January. Not coast, I mean, they're going to play well. The Saints should win this game. I doubt the Falcons can make the upset there. Chiefs at Titans. I don't think this will be the blowout people expect. People think that now that Mahomes is back, this team is going to roll over the Titans. I don't think that at all. I think it'll be a competitive game in Tennessee. The Titans will put up a good fight. I do expect the Chiefs to win. I'm choosing them to win. But, yeah, all the same. A little bit closer than people expect, I think. Ravens at Bengals, definitely the most lopsided matchup of the week. The Bengals, they benched Andy Dalton after all this time of him being the most average quarterback in the NFL. And they're welcoming a Ravens team as white hot. They're coming off of their huge win against the Patriots, and I think that this Ravens team will roll. Although Lamar Jackson apparently is dealing with an illness, so we'll see if he plays or not. I expect him to play, and I think he'll do enough so that they win. Bills and Browns, two teams I don't really know what to think of. I know the Browns are a mess. That much I know. They have a lot of talent, but they can't put it together. Welcoming a Bills team that has flaws, but they play together as a team really well. And for that reason, I'm picking the Bills to win. I think it'll be a close game. I think the Browns will play tough, but I just feel like the Bills are much more of a tight-knit unit at this time. So, next we have Cardinals at Buccaneers. This Cardinals team is kind of surprising me, in that no one expected them to be good this year, and yet they're in a lot of these games, and they've actually strung some wins together. They fight good competition really tough, as we saw like a week or two ago against the Niners. Kyler Murray is really fun to watch. He's really small. He's like the first quarterback where I look at him and I'm like, damn, you're small. But he's cool. He looks like a fun player to watch, and I'll pick them to win this game. I think the Bucs are a very streaky team. Like they'll either play really good one game or bad another. Jameis Winston is a turnover machine, and yeah, this is definitely his last season as a Buccaneer, in my opinion. Lions and Bears. Interesting matchup. Two disappointing teams this year. At the beginning of the year, everyone was like, oh my god, the NFC North is so tough because all the teams have a winning record. That has since changed, and these two are trying to avoid being the bottom of the division. I think the Lions should be able to win this game. They have a much better offense, and their defense is not that great, but the Bears' offense is terrible, so it's okay. This is in Chicago. I think it'll be a close game because they are divisional games. Divisional games, you have to kind of throw consensus out the window because you just never know. But I do think the Lions should win this game. It'll be close. Divisional games are always usually competitive, at least. Next, we have Dolphins at Colts. Dolphins, congratulations. You got your first win of the season. I don't think you'll get many more, though. But you might here. You might. A Colts team that does not have Jacoby Brissett. Brian Hoyer is at the helm while he recovers with that MCL sprain. The Colts are the better team here. I think they will win this game. Although the Dolphins, I think, will play tough. They've got some mojo going. They got off the slide, so to speak, and they'll play the Colts tough. This really could go either way, but I'll give the benefit of the doubt to the home team. Panthers at Packers. The Packers got a little bit, I don't want to say exposed. That's not the right word to use last week. They were caught on a bad week. They just didn't play well. I still think this Packers team has a lot of flaws, but I'm not saying they're a bad team. I just think that the Chargers took advantage of taking advantage of these flaws. And but yeah, they're back at home. I think that last loss shook them up a little bit, and they're going to want to play much tougher. And they're welcoming a Panthers team that really doesn't have that much firepower outside of Christian McCaffrey, who's amazing. I think the Packers should win this game. I don't think the Panthers will keep it that close, but we'll see. It might be competitive. Rams at Steelers. I'm going to pick the Rams in this game, even though they have not shown much reason to believe in them this season. They've had some nice wins, of course, but they just don't feel like the same Rams team that we've seen the last few years. And they're going to a Steelers team, which they have a great defense. They're playing at home. But this offense that the Steelers have, it does not impress me at all. Mason Rudolph, I don't think he's a bad quarterback per se. He doesn't impress me. And I think this Rams defense is going to do enough to keep him contained, if that's even like that hard to do. And I think the Rams find a way to win this game. I think they just chip away at this really good Steelers defense, and they win a close game. They'll win a close game. Vikings at Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. I thankfully work during when this game is being played, because I've come to the realization that watching the Vikings in primetime is both really exciting as a fan, and I get really nervous and stressed out as well, because I feel like they are so up or down in primetime games. Either they play really well or they play like absolute garbage. This, on paper, is a really good game, by the way. Vikings and Cowboys. Two teams I view are pretty good. I do think the Vikings are a better team, but they're on the road in a primetime game against a good team. I just hope this is a good game. I hope the Vikings don't make a fool of themselves. And if they don't make a fool of themselves and they play tough, it wouldn't bother me too much with a loss, although I want them to win. I really hope they win. But yeah, it should be a good game. I'll pick the Vikings to win, although I'm not all that confident for my reasons that I've stated. And then lastly, Monday Night Football, we have the Seahawks and the 49ers. Probably the game of the week, honestly. The Vikings-Cowboys is good, but this one's just a little bit better. The Seahawks. Russell Wilson is definitely in the lead for the MVP conversation, and the reason is he is carrying this team. It's not a bad team around him. It's just Russell Wilson is so clutch. I've seen it every time that he plays the Vikings. I just kind of I get a little bit sad because I'm like, damn it, they got a great quarterback. And I like Kirk Cousins. I'm not bagging on it. I'm getting on a weird tangent here. But the Seahawks are a very lethal team. They're not scary, but they're just lethal, if that makes sense. The Niners, on the other hand, are a scary team, but they're not lethal, if that makes sense. They're scary in the sense their defense is just swarming over quarterbacks. But if there's one quarterback that can evade the pressure that this Niners defense presents, it's Russell Wilson. Probably the best scrambler in all of football. This game should be great. I can't wait to watch it. I'm off on Monday, so I'll be chilling at home watching this game. And who do I pick to win? I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I think the Niners get their first loss of the season here. And I'm not rooting against either of these teams. I just think that the Niners are due for a loss, and no disrespect to Niners fans. But I think this would be a really good game. This could go either way. Divisional game. Two really good teams. Russell Wilson, Jimmy G going at it. Should be good. Okay, that does it for this week. Sorry for it being up later than expected. This time got away from me, I guess. I was excited with the whole My Hero returning, and I had to make sure I covered that in its entirety. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and leave your comments down below. And until next time, this has been Mighty Gazelle, hoping you all have a mighty day. See you guys.